The rivalry between Ford and Ferrari in the 1960s was primarily driven by Ford's desire to beat Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the world's most famous endurance races. At the time, Ferrari was the dominant force in endurance racing, having won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 6 times in a row from 1960 to 1965. In addition to the marketing benefits of winning the race, there were personal and political motivations behind Ford's desire to take on Ferrari. Henry Ford II, the grandson of Ford Motor Company's founder, was reportedly deeply offended when Enzo Ferrari abruptly canceled a deal to sell his company to Ford in 1963. This rejection angered Ford, and he saw defeating Ferrari on the racetrack as a way to get revenge. Furthermore, the rivalry between Ford and Ferrari was fueled by the personal ambitions of key figures on both sides. On the Ferrari side, Enzo Ferrari was a fiercely competitive and highly driven individual who was determined to maintain his company's dominance in endurance racing. On the Ford side, Carroll Shelby, a former race car driver and automotive designer, was determined to prove that American-made cars could compete with and beat the best that Europe had to offer. Ultimately, this rivalry between Ford and Ferrari in the 1960s led to some of the most exciting and iconic moments in the history of motorsports, with both companies pushing the limits of automotive technology and design in their pursuit of victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans and other races around the world. In 1963, Henry Ford II, the CEO of Ford Motor Company, approached Enzo Ferrari with an offer to buy his company. At the time, Ferrari was struggling financially and was interested in the deal. However, negotiations quickly broke down due to disagreements over the structure of the deal and control of Ferrari's racing team. Ford felt personally insulted by Ferrari's rejection of his offer and decided to take revenge by beating Ferrari on the racetrack. Ford saw the potential marketing benefits of winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the world's most famous endurance races, and decided to challenge Ferrari on their home turf. To accomplish this goal, Ford created a new racing team called Ford Advanced Vehicles, which was led by legendary automotive designer Carroll Shelby and driver Ken Miles. The team spent years developing and refining their cars, including the GT40, which was specifically designed to compete at Le Mans. In the years that followed, Ford and Ferrari became bitter rivals in motorsports, with both companies pushing the limits of automotive technology and design in their pursuit of victory. This rivalry culminated in Ford's historic victory over Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966, which marked a turning point in the history of endurance racing and solidified Ford's position as a major force in international motorsports. Thus, while Ford's failed attempt to buy Ferrari may have been the initial spark that ignited their rivalry in motorsports, it was Ford's determination to beat Ferrari on the racetrack that ultimately drove the two companies to become bitter competitors. There were several key figures involved in Ford's racing team that competed against Ferrari in the 1960s. Here are some of the most notable individuals. Carroll Shelby was a former race car driver and automotive designer who was recruited by Ford to lead their racing team, designed to beat Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Ken Miles was a British race car driver who worked closely with Shelby on the development of the GT40. Miles was a talented driver who helped Ford win numerous races. Lee Iacocca was a senior executive at Ford who played a key role in the development and launch of the Mustang, which became one of the most iconic American muscle cars of all time. Phil Remington was a legendary automotive engineer who worked closely with Shelby on the development of the GT40. Remington was known for his ability to solve complex engineering problems. John Wyer was a British racing team manager who was hired by Ford to manage their racing efforts in Europe. Wyer was a seasoned veteran of endurance racing and helped Ford win several key races, including the 1968 to 24 Hours of Le Mans. Ford's victory over Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966 was significant for several reasons. Ferrari had won the race 6 years in a row before Ford's victory in 1966, making them the team to beat in endurance racing. Ford's victory was a major upset and broke Ferrari's dominance of the race, establishing Ford as a major force in international motorsports. The victory was significant for American racing, as it marked the first time an American team had won the prestigious prestigious Le Mans race. It was also a major triumph for the American automotive industry, which had previously been overshadowed by European automakers. Ford's GT40 race car went on to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans for the next 3 years in a row, cementing its place as one of the greatest race cars of all time. The car's dominance helped establish Ford as a major player in international motorsports and helped pave the way for future American racing teams. The victory was seen by many as a symbolic Cold War victory, as it came at a time when tensions between the United States and Soviet Union were high. The race was seen as a way for the United States to prove its technical and engineering prowess to the world. Ford's victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966 is still remembered as one of the most iconic moments in the history of motorsports. It helped establish the GT40 as one of the greatest race cars of all time and paved the way for future American racing teams to compete on the international stage.